Yo, what's going on with your YouTube? Drumming Chris here. We're coming back at y'all with another vid, and we haven't done this video in a while because lately the crazy, market hasn't been doing anything with a lot of pairs of shoes. But I just want to talk about this shoe that just released. It's the Fire Red 3s. I know a lot of people are pretty excited about this shoe, and these things I feel like they kind of basically almost sold out. I know they made a whole bunch of pairs. If you guys do want pairs, I say try to go to your local retail store, see if they have any some unclaimed pairs sitting or so on and so forth, because they made a lot of pairs. Like, there was plenty of pairs out there. This was a super GR. No one should have any problem trying to get this pair if you actually put in some footwork. But just want to talk about some things like, we do on the channel, some hold and sell, some bricks to resell, because right now these things are not going for anything at all. Like, maybe a little bit of lunch money, but if you were to sell on the apps, after the fees and everything, you're basically breaking even. Most sizes, like especially small sizes, they're probably touching like mid 200s. Even some big sizes about the same range, around like 250, 240, somewhere around that range. That's probably about how much they're gonna be moving for. So like I said, if you were to sell on the apps, you're basically making just a little bit of lunch money. I do expect these things to go down even more once people get pairs from sneakers, because there was a lot of pairs on sneakers, even though it's sold out. But there were a lot of pairs out there. Like, there are tons and tons of pairs. No, I don't think the Memphis, the shenanigans took effect on these. I think stores already had them. That situation is going to be later down the road we'll talk about. But we'll just talk about the Fire Red 3s. Now, 3s has been getting some hype. I'm not going to lie. Ever since the Alma Maniere 3s and some other good colorways of 3s too. Like, if we know, it's like some of the OG colorways and so on and so forth. Obviously, a lot of people was already, we're still hyped about Air Jordan 4s, but don't sleep on 3s, man. This is a classic. It's definitely a classic, and it's one of my favorite silhouettes. Can't go wrong with a clean pair of 3s, especially it's with that Nike Air in the back. Now, might I mind y'all that it's been over 30 some years since we have an actual retro of a Fire Red 3s with the Nike Air in the back. We had Fire Red 3s in the past, but it always had the Jumpman. We finally got the Nike Air in the back, which is something special. It's an OG way that came, just like how it was in '88. And if you guys always pay attention to some of the OG colorway Air Jordan 3s, let's talk about the recent one that came out. I think it was the Black Cements and the True Blue 3s. Now, if you guys are not old enough to remember the game, True Blue 3s were sitting in outlets. I think these things retailed something crazy back in the day. It was like $220 or $250 or something, and a lot of people didn't want to pay that because they had that Nike in the back. They thought they can upcharge that, and a lot of people didn't. They were sitting on shelves like crazy. Same goes with the Black Cements. These were, when they first came out in 2018, they weren't doing anything. They were basically, I guess you could call them bricks, but they basically sold out because a lot of people like it. Obviously the market wasn't how it is nowadays, but look at the market on the Black Cements. These things are like 400 plus. Same with the True Blue 3s that actually went to outlets in some areas. These are now touching like mid 300s, high 300s, depending on sizes. Now, that's what I think what potentially could happen with the Fire Red 3s. Now, is this a really good hold? My opinion, probably not, unless you just want to make some lunch money. If you guys can get a couple pairs for like retail, hang on to them for like a little bit, like holiday season. I feel like these things will move during holiday season, but there's so many shoes that's supposed to be releasing, so maybe people forget about it. I think that the Fire Red 3s will eventually do some decent numbers. Like, these will touch at least 300 later down the road. I'm talking about, like, it could eventually take you about maybe a year, maybe in 2 years. Saying buy like a whole bunch of pairs, 10 to 20 pairs or anything like that, obviously. Don't do that, guys. Especially, with these things being like $210 and plus tax. It's just really, expensive. But I'm just saying, if you guys hang on to these things, and if you just look back, one day we're gonna look back and we're like, holy crap, the Fire Red 3s are doing, or what? That's what I feel like is gonna happen. The Fire Red 3s are gonna do crazy numbers, like all of a sudden one day, like in maybe a year or two, maybe even 6 months. Who knows? To be honest with how the market goes. I mean, we're supposed to get the White Cement reimagined later in 2023. That could cause a little bit of hype on these things as well, because sometimes once a new shoe comes out, then people look back at some of the old shoes and they just kind of do some good numbers. So these things could do some really good numbers down the road. Like I said, it's just gonna spike up one day and we're just not gonna notice it, and we're just gonna look back like, oh dang, these are how much? Yeah, these are gonna be like 400, and that's obviously you guys can sell it some way, consign at stores or something like that. Like that's how a lot of people make their money, especially on some OG colorways like this. I've seen consign stores, or these are like 500 in consignments. Saying it's not, you can't really compare it to, you know, the black cement, because this is a very iconic shoe. Same with the white cement, very iconic. Okay, I understand that, absolutely. If we look back, you know, if we want to do some comparison on the Fire Red 4s. Fire Red 4s in 2020, when the resale market was skyrocket high, everything was crazy, stimmy checks was flowing and tax money and all kind of stuff. These things weren't doing anything either. These things were basically sitting. They made so many pairs, and also I also feel like the quality control on these things were really bad, so a lot of people kind of pass on it. But these things weren't doing anything crazy, and now what they're doing, they're at mid 300 sizes, or even in some sizes are even touching low 400s. So now I'm not saying that these things are going to do that type of number like quickly, because it is Air Jordan 4 and it is Air Jordan 3, so there is some difference. But I'm just saying it could creep up to us in the years down the road. You know, that's all I'm saying. And I'm not, like I said, is this a shoe worth investing into or anything like that? No, I don't think so. It's gonna take way too long to do some investment. But I'm just saying that just kind of watch the market on these things. Eventually, maybe check in every now and then, just see what it's gonna look like. Because I know some people maybe have a bunch of personals, you haven't worn them yet, you probably have a whole bunch of shoes and you don't want to break them out just yet. Just see what the market's gonna look like. It's gonna go like this, and just, this is a Fire Red 3. It's a classic shoe. It's such, you know, it's such a good shoe for like any real sneakerheads out there. And you know, I was actually really excited for this shoe. This is one of my most anticipated, you know, releases of this year in 2022. This has to make the top 10 at least in sneakers of the year. Such a classic shoe, guys, man. It's been 30-some years since we had something like this, you know? That's something special. And, you know, I grew up watching Michael Jordan, and, you know, he was my icon. You know, I love when they, you know, when Nike and Jordan, when they finally release something like this, retro some classics. It just brings some nostalgia out, and it just brings back, you know, some of the memories and all that. So I'm actually really happy that these things came out. But anyway, guys, that's just pretty much end of the video, guys. Like I said, about these resale predictions and everything like that, I just want to say that, you know, I'm not a sneaker guru. I don't know everything or anything like that. I'm not, you know, I don't have a crystal ball. I just go from my past experience that I've had in the years. You know, I just kind of compare to what I've been doing, just like how it was with some of the past releases, and that's how I go from there. And sometimes I'm wrong, and sometimes I'm right. Definitely don't always listen to me. I would, you know, just go with your gut feeling. What do you guys think could happen? If you think they're gonna stay being brick throughout the entire time, then move them and then go on with the next and just forget about it, you know. But if you think they're gonna do crazy numbers down holiday season, then do what you need to do, guys. But I'm just telling you guys what I'm gonna plan on doing, and just see what happens. Pay attention to the market. If I plan on maybe buy some later down the road, that's what I plan on doing. But just tell you guys what I plan on doing, and what I probably end up doing, just kind of just watch the market, see what happens, and we just kind of go from there. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If you guys don't mind, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Comment down below, and please hit that bell for all the notifications when I do drop vids. And don't forget to follow me on my social media at Chris on IG, SoundCloud on Twitter, and don't forget Snapchat. I'm also on TikTok. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'm Chris. Push.